You get stale.
Popcorn.
Popcorn.
You forget about things like stale.
Popcorn. Popcorn. Stale popcorn.
Popcorn.
Pop.
This is the
Stale popcorn.
Hello and welcome to the Stale Popcorn Podcast. I'm Steven, and with me as always is my good buddy Christopher. Chris, how are you?
I'm well, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. We got quite the show for folks. There's timestamps below if you want to take a jaunt, skip around. We're going to be talking about The Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 3, Thunderbolts. We got a couple of news and a very special segment of Glenn's Corner coming up that we're excited about. So I got a couple of housekeeping items if you'll indulge me, Chris.
I'm indulging.
So by the time this episode comes out, it will be a very special holiday for nerds. You know what I'm talking of?
Are we talking May the 4th, Revenge of the 5th?
Oh, yes.
Return of the
Exactly.
6th? Is that one?
Yeah, yep.
Those younglings didn't go to 7?
Yeah, unfortunately. Yes, as many listeners would know,
We're the biggest Star Wars nerds. I can't even tell you. I got a tattoo that says I heart Star Wars on my chest. It's a great time to be a Star Wars nerd, am I right, Chris?
Oh, yeah. It's the best time of the year.
It's a good time to be a Star Wars fan, but may the Force be with you, and may the Fourth be with you. Well,
Yeah. I cannot wait for the new Star Wars. I'm a big fan. I'm Han Solo. I'd like to be Han Duo because I like that
Oh,
guy. I'm a
yes.
fan.
yeah, you got
Lando, more like Hando.
Oh, yeah. Mando with his Hando and his Grogus and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I want to give a quick shout out. We got a couple of new listeners and followers via the Instagrams and all the things. Special shout out to Candor626 on YouTube. It's a new subscriber.
Hey, Lilo and Stitch fan.
Yeah. What do you mean by that? Oh,
Isn't it
626.
626?
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, he's excited for the new film. Let me know what you think about it, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. No, I met this guy in real life. He's a good guy. And we got to talking. He's got a YouTube channel. I'll link below. He talks some video games. So yeah, thanks for subscribing. And if you want a
Nice.
personal shout out, just subscribe, leave us a comment, and we'll get that going for anyone who wants to check us out and help us out with the channel. Well, Chris, I got something up my sleeve. Do you know what it is?
An arm, a shoulder, a card. What are we talking?
Those things, along with Glenn's Corner, where I'm sitting in the corner looking at nothing but a picture of Glenn. All right, Chris, for weeks, we've been talking about Glenn's special condom mints brand. And we thought we'd do something fun. Chris and I have actually bought his sauces from the Walmarts.
Straight from Glenn's mouth.
Yes.
Into our hearts.
Into our hearts. Yeah. We're going to be doing a live taste test of these.
you can pick them up at your local Walmart. Not sponsored, by the way.
I got the spicy mayonnaise and the hot honey barbecue sauce. What flavors did you get, Chris?
I got the hot honey ketchup.
Mm-hmm.
Got that American style barbecue sauce because that seems real Glenn-like. He seems like a red-blooded American. And I got that hot honey barbecue sauce. So we got one of the same.
Yeah. As far as the barbecue sauces go, I'd say 90% of barbecue sauces on the market, the first ingredients is high fructose corn syrup. And this is the first ingredient, organic tomato puree. So that's a good sign. It claims to be super organic and like healthy for you. So I'm just going to be an absolute troglodyte and
Just pour it straight in your mouth.
I'll put it in a little spoon maybe. I'll put it in a cupped hand and sip it like a dog. How about that? The spicy mayonnaise is pretty good. It's got a little bit of spice. That would go great on like a lettuce wrap. You're trying to bulk up, cut the carbs down. Yeah, it's pretty good actually. It's a good alternative to like your regular mayonnaise. I love me some avocado mayonnaise, but this is like a solid 9. I would put this on a sandwich, a wrap, eggs. I don't know. It's good stuff all around.
All right, I'm going in on this American here. Tastes real American. Tastes
Yeah.
real barbecue.
You can taste the freedom.
I can taste Pearl Harbor, and I can taste the Twin Towers here.
The unity of America.
Let me compare it to this hot barbecue, and then maybe I'll get a better understanding here.
The hot barbecue smells delish, by the way. You know what? That is on par with Sweet Baby Ray's, if I can be frank.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
I dare say I like it better than America.
Yeah.
I think I'm going 9 on the hot. I'll
That's
go 7 on the America. And I got me some hot honey ketch.
Ooh, are you a ketchup and eggs man?
Sure am. It's hot.
Yeah.
Not like burning your mouth, but Glen Powell hot, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yes. Got a little sizzle. This is some quality content for an audio podcast we got here.
It's good. They're all good.
They're all
it or
good.
not.
Yeah. I like
My
it a lot.
favorite. If I were to recommend one, get that hot honey barbecue.
The hot honey barbecue. Oh,
it's
yeah.
a local Walmart. It's a local mom and pop store. You may not have heard of it, but they need your support.
They do. 100% organic. So hopefully you enjoyed this little segment of us trying our sauces with Glenn. If Glenn ever hears this, thanks, buddy. Thanks for trying to break into a already saturated market, but we appreciate it. And,
I know. I was just thinking the other day, we need more barbecue sauces.
Yeah.
We don't got enough.
There's only 80 options.
And ketchup. I mean, Heinz, they've been monopolizing that. We need someone else to get in the game.
I will say, missed opportunity in terms of marketing. You should put Glenn's face on here. Just a shining beacon. Because then people would have been walking down the stores, and you'd never see any faces besides Paul Newman. And if you were to see Glenn, then you'd be walking by, and your girl would be like, hey, isn't that the guy who was in that movie with Sydney Sweeney? Let's try the sauce.
Let's try it. Let's see what it takes.
Yeah. Cover all 9,000 taste buds.
Cream. It's a 10.
It's a 10.
Well, should we move
Let's move on
to some shows we've been watching?
Yes, Chris. What have you been watching? Anything lately?
I seen one movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what is it called? It's not good enough that I remember what it's called. Until Dawn? Breaking Dawn?
Oh.
It's Until Dawn.
Is that based on a game?
There's this girl named Bella, and this boy named Jacob, and this other boy named Edward. No, I don't think it's on a bloody game. You've probably seen the trailer, but the concept is that there's this girl, and her sister's been missing. It's been a year since she's been missing, and they're kind of going through the old tour that they went through last year as it kind of, somehow it's supposed to help her feel better, which, I mean, logically, I don't get.
Yeah.
But then they go to the town where she was last seen, and you got the creepy V-dub guy, you know, Jurassic Park 2, he's in John Wick. You know whom I speak?
I do, yeah. That one guy who's always in things, but nobody knows. Yeah.
Killed them with a fucking pencil. That guy.
Yeah.
He's a creepy gas station clerk, and he's like, oh, yeah, people, they go missing at this building over here. He's like, yeah, I seen her there like a year ago. And then they say, well, let's get on over there. And they go there, and they get trapped there, and they get brutally murdered. But guess what? They all wake up and they're alive, and they're like, what? Did you have this vivid dream that you were murdered? Yeah, you. And it keeps repeating. But what makes it different than the other horror films is that it tells you that this isn't like a normal horror film. Like 18 times in the movie, they're like, someone's like, oh, it's like that one movie. And like, no, this ain't like that. And I'm like, it's exactly, all right, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
It's kind of your token horror. I thought it was, started off, I was like, it's kind of interesting a little bit. And then it gets real dumb. And I'm like, this movie is stupid. But then there was a part where I got a little spooked towards the end, because it's one of those, like, they're in the dark and it's the flashing red light and then dark and flashing red, and it's one of those, it's a jump scare kind of flick, and I'm like, that, I'll admit that one got me a little spooked. And I'm not one that gets spooked, Steve. But overall, it was pretty trash. I wouldn't really recommend it, but it did make me a little spooked, so because of that, I'm gonna say 0. Not booing, not cheering, just getting up and leaving.
Fair enough.
Giving the theater worker a nod, but not saying have a good day.
I get that.
Did you watch anything, Steve?
I watched one episode, The Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 3. This one I felt like it was a slight misstep in potentially the wrong direction, if I may be so blunt. Listen, you got such a great episode in Episode 2, and then it wasn't that great. Probably one of the slower, weakest of the season.
I agree. Not a lot happens. It lets you breathe, but I don't need a bloody oxygen. Give me a quick CPR and let's keep it
let's
moving
get it going.
here.
Yeah. I would say there's 3 kinds of people who watch this show. You got those who love the games and are in it for the story. They probably won't like it from here on out because it's like, it's not as good as the story. And then you got those, mostly women, who are here for Pedro. And guess what? He's not in it anymore. So, you got the females
I
who
know.
are like, what's the reason?
For some reason, my wife's not into the show as much
me
anymore.
too, yeah. And then you got the third group of people who are just expecting a good HBO show, which is, I feel like it's still a good show. They got to pick it up, is what I'm trying to say. I guess there's another fourth person who just watches it to make memes of Bella Ramsey, which are always welcome. Those are great. I love them. Great memes I'm coming from this.
Yeah, I think you sent me the one of like the guy boxing or whatever.
Yeah.
But apparently, because I sent that to my wife, and she's like, oh yeah, he's like a famous Brazilian comedian, and they've been on that train for years, apparently. Like,
that's funny.
but yeah, some of the differences from the game that I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
In the game, Tommy leaves before they do. In this one, they do the whole hospital thing, which doesn't happen in the game. Like, she's in the hospital for like 3 months, and then she talks with Catherine O'Hara. She's also not in the game at all. And the day she gets out, Nina's like, hey, actually, I do know some stuff. Wolf, go in Seattle, blah, blah, blah. Her name's Abby. And then they go talk to Tommy, and then Tommy's like, we got to run it by
Tommy's wife.
Yeah.
Tommy.
Tommy's wife.
Yeah.
And they do a big old town hall meeting, do a vote, and everyone basically votes like, no, we're not going to send anyone. And then they end up, it's just Ellie and Nina sneaking out with the help of that one homophobic bigot, terrible man.
Mm-hmm.
We already established I would forgive him for the sandwich. I'd let him
steak sandwich,
spit in my face, call me gay, tie me up, whatever, beat me for a steak sandwich.
Yeah.
She's still mad, and he's even like getting her a nice horse, he's giving her a better gun, giving her all this equipment, and she's still like so mad at him. I don't like her.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a point, and he definitely,
tried.
Sure, he tried. He went above and beyond, and also he stood up for her at the
council.
Little town hall thing, like getting her back, and she still hates this guy.
Yeah.
In the game, there's no like 3-month gap and all this, and it's basically, they talk with Tommy, and he's like, give me a 24 hours to talk this over, get some people round up, and just wait 24 hours. And then basically the next morning, his wife shows up to Ellie saying like, he left this note telling Ellie not to come, hide the horses, don't let her leave. He's going to go take care of it.
Yeah.
So kind of a big difference, I'd say. But
yeah, it's a double-edged sword because like I like that they had the big fight with the zombies, but it made it so that Tommy couldn't go, which I get, from he wouldn't go. But also, it kind of makes him look like a little bit of a wuss. You're like, that's his brother. It doesn't seem like they are making Tommy care. You didn't even get to see Tommy's reaction to Joel's death. You just see him kind of cleaning up. I was like, that would have been nice to see. I get the story's not about those two. It was like a little disappointing to see Tommy on the sidelines so much.
You know me, I'm a sucker for reactions. It always makes me mad when they just skip that part because I feel like it's just lazy.
Yeah.
Directing, acting, whatever. It's like, oh, you get them talking about it afterwards. I want to see them figuring out like, oh, Tommy's dead.
Yeah.
My dog is dead.
Yeah.
Like those type of things. I want to see that genuine first reaction, but nah.
I did have a question for you. It seemed like an odd time jump. Ellie is in the hospital for 3 months. Did they explain why
like
so
that.
long?
She had a thing in her lung? I don't know. I think they...
Like got broken ribs or something. I don't know, maybe.
I remember she woke up and she started screaming. She got scared,
like
which...
hallucinations or reliving PTSD?
Which I didn't particularly... I wasn't buying the scream there.
Yeah.
I was like, eh. And she already saw him die and then, like, rode back with him on a horse, went to the hospital, and then... wow.
Yeah.
No. I'm like, all right, that's kind of delayed. Yeah. All right. Well, who cares?
I think Ellie is really hard to care about her. There's just like nothing really there to hold on to. She's not as smart, not as redeemable. And the interactions between her and Dina weren't bad. I kind of liked their little journey together. It was like fun to see them. But I did get the sense that it kind of feels like Dina's the popular girl who's just kind of playing with the nerdy autistic kid out of her own enjoyment. They're like doing a she's all that here. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, is there in the tent? She's just like kind of like, just messing with her. Yeah.
1 out of 10.
It just seems like a popular girl who's bored.
Yeah.
So I hope that they can develop that and, I don't know, go somewhere from there. But I'm also really looking forward to Ellie's like actual arc. She's got to do something to make her likable. I tell you, man.
It didn't show any of those cult people so far.
yeah.
I know they're going to pop up later in the game, but this one, it shows like a group of them, and there's the little girl, and he gives her the
Hammer.
and do you feel safe now? Yeah. And then later when Ellie and them show up to Seattle, they're all been murdered. So there's someone out there. Maybe it's the Wolf Gang or someone else, but they're bloody savages, killing kids, killing adults.
Yeah, that gave me a little
younglings.
bit of Walking Dead vibes, and not in a good way. I was like, I never like when a dystopian apocalyptic movie has like cults or stuff in there. I get why it has to happen, but I'm like, come on, just, I don't know.
I don't mind it. Just to push back, Steve. I
right.
like the cult things. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, sure.
Even though the episode's not good, I'm still always like psyched for the next one.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping something good happens here. Because like even this one was definitely a step down from the last, but I still enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just clarifying. I'm not trashing it. But it could get better, and I hope more action comes.
Mm-hmm. Well, Chris, do you want to move on to the meat, the potatoes, the main course?
Let's move.
All right, we're going to be talking about Thunderbolts.
The newest entry into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is the finishing final movie of MCU Phase 5.
I don't even know what we're on anymore, sorry, but
5, 6, 8.
who cares?
It's better than Eternals, better than your Captain America, Ant-Man 3s. So, I mean, maybe it's because I had lower expectation, but I thought it was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I'd go more into pros and cons, but I'd probably stand up, give it like 3 minutes. Maybe 4 if you twist my arm and my tit.
At the same time, get
Yes.
ready. Here I
Yep.
come. It's slightly below Deadpool and Wolverine for me. So as to say, good, not the best. People are saying it's as good as Avengers Endgame. Rating-wise, that's off the charts. And I'll tell you right now, no thank you, good sir. Don't
I
try
was
that.
looking at the Rotten Tomatoes. Did you see it, or you want to take a guess?
Last I heard, it was at 96, which is outrageously too high.
Yeah, it's down to 89% critic, but 95% audience. So the audience, they're eating this up. It's verified hot.
Yeah, maybe it's because we've been given like beans and toast for the last few years. And this is like Popeye's chicken. It's like, hey, this ain't bad. It's not the best. It fills me up,
Yeah, we've been eating our chicken with Heinz ketchup, and now we got that smashed kitchen.
Yes, not sponsored. But we also, yeah, I'd say there's a lot of good stuff to like about this. And just going over some quick plot details. There's a lot of characters you may not know, but I think they do a well enough a job to establish them in their own rights. You got a bunch of rejects from the past projects coming in. They're working for Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Elaine Bennis. Now we know what happened to her after Seinfeld, and she's working them. And she said, I got a Black Ops mission. Y'all got to go in here and kill each other and blah, blah, blah. And then they run into this mysterious man. And who's this man? And then shenanigans ensue. You got Red Guardian. You got bloody... Is her name the Black Widow? Yelena?
I
Or
think
she?
so.
Okay. You got Bucky Barnes, you got John Walker, you got Ghost, Taskmaster, but no spoilers here. She gets unceremoniously just capped in the head 5 seconds in, and nobody
You
cares
said
anyway.
no spoilers here?
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. Sorry.
Okay.
A lot of credit has to go to the writer and director, Jake Schreier. I butchered that name, but I don't care. He did Beef on Netflix.
Ooh.
Yeah, so good on him. I think there's a lot of good stuff. We can get into spoilers here. Overall, I think you could probably go see it in theaters, right? I think it's a fun theater watch.
Mm-hmm.
So jump into some spoilers here. We'll go into some cons and then end on some high notes. I'll just say it's got that classic Marvel quippy humor that maybe 40% of the time works.
That's generous.
Very set up jokes where you're like, nobody talks like this normally. When it doesn't land, you really feel that it doesn't land.
Yeah.
And it's rough because they'll just be talking and then they wait for the audience to stop laughing. You're like, nobody's laughing. Just could you my biggest qualm with this, Chris, and going into spoilers here, they are technically called the New Avengers. So the whole marketing, it said Thunderbolts asterisk, and it was the sub-name was they're the New Avengers now. They got a weak roster, to be frank.
Yes.
They just don't have the stats on them, Because who do they have? They got 3 strong guys. You got a ghost lady, a Black Widow, and then you got Bob, who sometimes can maybe be Sentry, maybe not.
That sound like if he does, he goes and kills the whole world, so,
so
he can do the dishes.
He's your special. He's your ultimate that you have to save for the big boss, and you can only use him once. But my point is that they really need some variety in there, because an overall rounded team, you got to have hitters. You got to have a smart guy. You got to have a techie guy.
The Hulk.
A strong guy.
Iron Man. The Hulk again.
You got to have a paladin. You got to have a halfling rogue with 12 dexterity. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
But that's my point. It's like, there's not a whole lot going on. And I'm not optimistic that it'll be interesting to watch if they continue with just that team. So, but hopefully in the next one, they got more. Like there's Shang-Chi, you got Gambit probably. So hopefully we'll see that into fruition.
One of my main cons, this happens for a bunch of the movies, I guess, but they're just like, there's no more Avengers. We don't have anyone to save us. But like, what happened to the event? Like, did they just all retire?
Well, Tony's dead.
Okay.
Hulk is a loser. Who else? Steve Rogers, an old man.
Yeah. But I mean, you got Hawkeye. Isn't he still a thing? Or is he just old and doesn't work as much?
Well, sidebar on that.
Shang-Chi?
Do you want to hear more about Hawkeye?
Sure.
I saw that Disney offered Jeremy Renner a season 2 of Hawkeye TV show, and they said, hey, we'll pay you half of what you did last season. And he's like, no.
Really?
Like, why would you?
Like this, sorry, Haley Steinfeld is kind of blown up, so we got to pay her double.
I think that's what it was, honestly.
They're like, did you see her spit in that guy's mouth in that movie? We got to
Jeremy,
pay her
have you
double.
seen Sinners? Give me a break here, man. He recently got run over by a van or something, or a truck.
I remember, something about him. He was on his deathbed.
Yeah. And so imagine that Disney's just like, hey, do you want to have what you're worth? Like,
I know you probably won't make it out of this. Maybe it's like you're half the man you were.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's like, was it because I'm half the man I was before? I'm like, geez.
Well, him, Shang-Chi, you got bloody Doc Strange, Spider-Man. Ain't they all?
Yeah, that's true.
The new Captain America, Sam
Fantastic
Wilson.
Four, probably.
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
They'll be coming.
But it's just like, oh, there's no more here. Bloody War Machine. Is he gone?
No, he's a Skrull. Do you remember that whole crap with Secret Invasion?
He's a Skrull?
Yeah. See, this is what I mean, Chris. If you don't have 80 hours to dedicate a
Sam
week to-
Rhodes was actually a Skrull the whole time?
Since, like, I think it was Civil War. He's been a Skrull the whole time.
Wait, so did he die?
No,
Skrull are the little alien things, right?
Same thing. Yeah, they like shapeshift. But if I recall, I've never seen Secret Invasion. I just saw a video. But since Civil War, he's just been an alien. And then in that show, they let him go. And now he's just like homeless or something. I don't know. Anyway.
But anyways, there's hundreds of superheroes here.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're the only ones that can save us. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. That's not true.
Yeah.
I thought the ending was kind of anticlimactic. Red Guardian's like, I'm gonna kill her. And Winter Soldier's like, no, we gotta take her in. Ganging up on her. And she's, give me 1 second. And then they walk through something and there's like a full-on press conference. And she's like, hey, new Avengers.
Yeah.
Black Widow's like, we own you now. So you're just
Slavery
going
was
along with
abolished in
this?
18... Well, yeah. But I'm right there with you. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
like, I wasn't like, yes, the new Avengers are here. We're so excited.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, okay, you know?
And it just ends. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, she tried to kill him and all this. Why not? Like, it seemed like they want her in jail, but this makes it seem like she's just doing fine.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I guess we got dirt on you, but like, who cares?
They have effectively become part of the problem now, Christopher. Because at the end, you see them with their nice little high-rise building and their fancy little whatever.
Yeah.
So they're just bribed government agents like the rest of them. Bucky,
yeah.
he really sold out, man.
He did.
Speaking of that post-credit scene, awful outfits. Horrible. I don't know if you noticed. I'm a suit guy. I like looking at suits. I know you couldn't care less.
I know you are, and I don't.
Horrible. Everyone, horrible hair. Just, Bucky, please cut your hair. Just, it's not working. It hasn't worked ever since first Captain America. That post-credit scene, do you like the Fantastic Four little Easter egg there? Not Easter egg, it's right in front of your face. But
Yeah, was it Fantastic Four?
10 things you might have missed from the post-credit scene. Yeah.
I think it just doesn't hit the same. Because remember, it was like the first one was Iron Man, and the post-credit scene was like the Incredible Hulk, right?
Yeah, that
was like
fun.
him at a bar, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's because I was younger and like, I just was dumb enough to not realize they're making these movies. Because I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Is that Incredible Hulk? Are you kidding me? And now I'm like, oh, Fantastic Four is being released in like 3 months.
Yeah. You didn't know anything what was going to be next. And now you're like, yeah, we know. We've seen the trailers. You've seen this whole movie pretty much. So it's like not exciting.
I think the trailer for Avengers was after, well, I don't know, Thor, Iron Man 2 or something like that.
And that one was like,
oh man, this is great here. Versus like, oh, it's a ship.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Oh, wow. Okay.
Their hubris branding on there. Like, how many millions of dollars you spend spray painting 4 on there, Reed Richards? Well, I have a question. It's not a con, really, but just a question.
Sure.
You remember when Red Guardian, the 3 of them came out of that bunker hole or whatever, and they're like just walking about, and then Red Guardian drives up with his limo?
Got a tracking device to find them. And
did they establish that, or did I miss that?
No. He's
I'm like, how is he driving aimlessly?
Driving aimlessly and sees them even though they're like prone position.
Yeah, and I'm no meteorologist, but I'm pretty sure like helicopters and planes fly faster than an old top mile per hour of 50. Because he's like, oh, I drove here from Baltimore. I'm like, wouldn't that take like 3 days? And they were, I don't know. So minor details there. It doesn't add up. Let's go on some pros then.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
It seemed more old-timey Marvel, I guess. I like the whole, oh, we're bad guys turn good. I like the villain in this. It's kind of different than your typical, like, oh, here's the villain, we kill him at the end, or he goes in prison. Versus this one, it's like, oh, because you start off and you see Bob, and I liked Bob. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously, you kind of know there's something with him. But at the beginning, it's just playing off like he's a normal guy. And I'm like, this is kind of fun. And then throughout it, you're like, you're still rooting for Bob the whole time. Where I've talked about this many times, but like a villain, you got to have an angle where part of you either understands what they're doing or you're rooting for him. And which Bob, you're like, I want this guy to succeed here.
I rooted for him more than some of the characters on the main team, if I'm being frank.
Yes.
It was a really good villain. I like that it was a lot different than what we normally see, as Marvel's answer to Superman. When he goes dark mode, for lack of a better term, it's genuinely like, well, oh, dang, And his power, it makes people see like some of the darkest moments of themselves, and he basically fights them with the power of depression. Is that fair to say?
Yep. And they save him with the power of friendship.
Exactly, Chris. Yeah. There's a really cool element to his character where he like blasts people down the shadows, and apparently that's kind of based on Hiroshima's atomic bomb. When the bomb dropped, they could see people's shadows from the explosion. Kind of a dark Easter egg, if you
they're like, we're going to Hiroshima on this town here.
Speaking of Bob, I always wondered what happened to him after Top Gun Maverick. You know what I mean?
Oh, see,
he plays Bob in Top Gun Maverick. Yeah,
really? He just ends up in Malaysia after that, huh?
Yeah, couldn't live up to Tom Cruise's expectations, so he decided to go to Malaysia.
That'll send you. I thought it was funny. They show his past and trauma and all this, and it's like him on meth as a chicken flipping the sign. That's kind of fun.
Yeah. If we're talking tism, Chris, we got some nepotism in this film. We got 2 instances, actually.
Well, obviously Wyatt
Russell, and I have a quote from him. Thunderbolts Wyatt Russell addresses his Hollywood nepo baby status. He says, it's 1,000,000 times easier. People talk about nepo babies and stuff, and you're like, yeah, it's 100%, 1,000 times easier. F yeah, are you kidding me?
Well,
so props to him for being honest.
Yeah.
His dad, an alum from the MCU, he played Ego. And then we also have Louis Pullman, who is the son of old Bill Pullman.
Who's Louis? Is that
that's Century? Bill Bob. Yeah.
Ah, his dad's Bill Pullman? Yeah.
Continuing with pros, for the most part, the ensemble works, I'd say. It's like fun to see him bounce around a little bit. It scratches that itch. It's not as nearly as good as your Guardians team up, because they had some variety, as we've discussed, but it's whatever, And kind of like what you went to, I like the end battle. It's not just a punch-up. They try punching them up, and they fail miserably. They're grossly outclassed. It's fun to watch that little bit of him just tearing through them like tissue. There has to be a reasonable way for them to end this, and the way they did it, I was like, oh, that's pretty actually creative, They had some well shot things in there. The sequence where they're kind of going through the depressive rooms was fun. This, in recent memory, is one of the better looking MCU films. I think it's really well shot. A lot of the things done in camera, which I can respect. It doesn't have that weird rubbery Marvel kind of shine to it a lot of times. The kind of third act was pretty interesting to watch, that it wasn't just a punch up and they're like, hey, we gotta fight with the power of love. As cheesy as it is, I think it worked, you know?
Yeah. Yelena, she's all alone and she needs somebody. And she gets real happy and they're together, happy family.
Yeah.
Good film.
A lot of people are like, oh, there's not enough action, you know, it's lame or whatever. I'm like, well, then go watch Man of Steel. You know, there's other options out there.
Havoc.
Yeah,
There's
go watch
plenty of
Havoc.
action.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Everyone loves that movie.
Everyone. It's a great film. Yeah, I think it was fun to see Bob go from Zero to Homelander in like 5 seconds, which you would, having to work for Elaine Bennis, if I'm honest with you. But
yeah,
overall, pretty good movie.
Yeah. That's all I got, Steve.
Me too. Yeah. If you're listening up to this point, thank you so much for listening. If you don't mind, if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel, go follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, bloody. What else we got? We actually have a LinkedIn. If you're curious, go to LinkedIn. I'm not joking. We actually got one. just for kicks and giggles. Yeah. Connect with us. And yeah, I think next week, I don't know what we're doing, but we're probably doing something. I think that's all I got.
Well, that's all I got. Thanks for listening. Have a good week.
Bye.
Popcorn. Pop, 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 pop.
This is the
Stale. Popcorn.
popcorn.